What is up, everybody? Ray and Brendan here with Franchise Tag Fantasy Football, bringing you the recap for Sunday night, the injury reports, maybe some things to look at in your waiver wire, maybe some people to drop off of your team. You know, who knows?
Who knows?
We'll get into all of it. Brendan.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk about some of the injuries today, because there was some significant ones today.
Yeah, so I think I guess you could say the most significant one would be Daniel Jones having a non-contact injury, and they're fearing it's a torn ACL, so it looks like his season's done. With them being 1-7, I think they're in prime candidate to get a quarterback this draft. So I think we might have seen Daniel Jones last snap of the Giants, potentially.
Yeah, it's pretty clear, to me, it's pretty clear he tore his ACL. They haven't said it yet. They haven't announced that yet. But
yeah.
Well, I don't know. The way that his knee bent, and then
he just gave out. Yeah, he just sits down on the floor. Yeah, it sucks. I mean, I have no hate for the guy. It just sucks. I think the Giants do need to move in a rebuilding direction. I think that was just the final straw. So,
yeah, and look, maybe it's better for the Giants.
I think it's better long term. As sad as that is to say, for someone to get injured, I still think it is that's just what's going to happen. It's just going to benefit them long term.
Yeah. It kind of hurts. I would say that kind of hurts Saquon. That kind of hurts. It really kills a lot of the other options they were going to have. I don't know how long Tyrod's out for, but
yeah, I don't know. But I mean, other news. I think Dallas Goedert, the tight end for the Eagles, potentially broke his wrist in the game against the Cowboys. It's not 100% confirmed, but it looked like his wrist went the wrong way. So hopefully it's a sprain, but at the worst, it'll probably be a broken wrist.
Yeah, and that kind of I think when that happened, you kind of saw a little more shift because they were already kind of focusing more on Devonta Smith today. Mm-hmm. Obviously, AJ Brown got his, but you saw a little more shift towards that direction. Devonta Smith had a great game today.
He did.
I don't think that was all the whole reason behind that. I'm not too sure. Haven't figured it out yet. I don't know if I want to go rewatch that game. It was a good game, but
it was.
I don't know. I don't know where Devonta Smith's targets have been going as of before today. He's not really been that involved. So
yeah, no one really knows. Yeah, something weird. I think Cam Akers officially took his last snap as an NFL running back. He tore his Achilles, so that's it for Cam Akers. It's Alexander Madison's backfield. You can officially drop Cam Akers. That's unfortunate for Cam Akers too.
Yeah, it's the second one.
Yeah,
I didn't get to see what leg it was.
I don't know if it was the same one. They didn't. I haven't seen any reports saying it's the same one, but yeah, I'm not sure. It's been confirmed a torn Achilles though.
Yeah.
And then last news, I mean, it looks like Josh Dobbs is going to be the full-time starter for the Vikings because Jared Hall on his first running play just got concussed. He got laid out, and Josh Dobbs took over. So that's it.
Why is it that Josh Dobbs has had some of those the most weird situations that he's ever been put in?
Yeah, I know.
Any quarterback.
Seriously,
he got weird. There. He didn't know anybody's name. He didn't know the receivers' full names and stuff.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh yeah, okay, well, go ahead and win this ball game for us, huh? What do you say?
I mean, when you have a degree in I think he worked for NASA. He has a degree in biotech or something super smart. I'm stupid and dumb, so I have no idea. But I know he's wicked smart. So
yeah, he's an aerospace engineer.
There you go. See, that's why I joined the military, because I was dumb.
Yeah. Well, that's a story for another time, Brennan. Story for another time.
All right, Ray, you want to talk about the games that happened today? Let's do it here. We'll talk about the first one here. It was the Miami Dolphins and Kansas City Chiefs. The Miami Dolphins 14, Kansas City 21. This game was, I would say it's a letdown for what it could have been. Ray, you want to talk about the Miami side?
Sure. If you want to hear a lot of Tua hate.
Oh my goodness.
Look, I got to watch a whole hell of a lot of that game because it was the only show in town this morning. Yeah. And I can tell you right now, this is just to go back to what I was saying before. Tua's a streamer when he's playing against a good team. Obviously, you would put him in over a lot of other quarterbacks, but man, did he not look good. He looked awful the whole game. He made maybe a couple throws that were okay. But outside of that, I don't know, man.
I think it was a mixture of him not playing well. I think Kansas City, this is probably Kansas City Chiefs' best defense they've had with Mahomes at quarterback. I will say that, though. This is probably their best defense.
Also.
So, okay.
But look, I'm just saying it was a rough game to watch. I mean, if you're looking at the stat line, I don't particularly think that it was a pretty game, right?
Yeah.
Raheem Mostert saved his day on that touchdown that he got, because other than that, he would have had a pretty meh game.
Yeah.
And I again, you scroll back up real fast.
Okay.
Again, you saw a little bit more of this tandem running backs happening that I don't think that they're comfortable giving Raheem Mostert the entire workload. Now, I understand that Raheem had 12 carries to their 2 and 3, but they were on the field more than what I think that they should have been, really. You know,
I think it's a weird situation because they have a bye week next week, right? And then Devon Achane comes back. So, like, I think it'll go to being a 50-50 backfield with both those two being the primary usage backs. And I think Devon Achane's the more explosive guy. So I think Raheem Mostert might be interesting when he comes back after this bye week, Devon Achane taking over.
Breaking news, Dallas Goedert has a fracture in his forearm.
Oh, that sucks.
So he'll be out for a considerable amount of time.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Sad day.
Anyways, this is probably Tyreek Hill's lowest scoring game that he's had in a while. And he still put up 11 points. He didn't kill you at all, you know? Cedric Wilson is still kind of like a flash in the pan kind of guy, maybe a DraftKings lineup kind of guy, but nothing I want to ever put in my lineup. Jalen Waddle. Bro. What do you do with him right now? What do you do?
You still have to start him because the week prior to that, I mean, he had his best week on the season. As you can see, he had 75. He had 121 yards, 7 catches, and a touchdown the week prior against New England. So it's just one of those things where it's like really good defense. I don't know. I still think you have to start him. I know he's been very frustrating. He's been very frustrating to start rolling out. So, but it is what it is. You have to start him though.
Yeah, and outside of that, that was about all I had for Miami.
Okay. Yeah, he's such a hater. I agree that this team does struggle. All 3 losses are against playoff teams. I would say the Bills, Eagles, and now the Chiefs. So Mahomes is still not having a Mahomes-esque season. I think you and I can both agree to that. I mean, it was very this is just a very mid-game for where you took him. You probably took him as QB1. And he's just not putting the numbers up of what you thought. And I mean, I don't know if that's to deal with the receivers or, even like Travis Kelce didn't have a good game either. As you can see, Travis Kelce Noah Gray had more yards than Travis Kelce. That's impressive. That's really impressive. 3 catches for 14 yards today for Travis Kelce. Talk about a dud.
It's because Taylor Swift wasn't in town.
That's true. She needs to go to Germany and hang out with him more.
Yeah.
I think it's safe to say that Rashee Rice can go in your lineups as a flex play. He's clearly I would say he's the only wide receiver option to start there. I know his day was only saved by the touchdown, but I just think he's the more explosive wide receiver of that. And then Isaiah Pacheco had himself I guess you could say letdown game. He's very much dependent on a touchdown for you. 16 attempts for 66 yards is still a really good line for a bell cow. Just, no receptions, no touchdowns. It's just going to let you out of that game. You have anything else to add to this game, Ray? No. All right. Kind of an exciting game. Minnesota 31, Atlanta 28. Like I said before, Jaren Hall was the starter for the Vikings and got concussed in the goal line, and Josh Dobbs came in and just lit it up on fire. Ray, which side would you like to talk about? I'll let you pick.
I can talk about Minnesota real fast. So,
all right.
After Hall went out, I mean, Josh Dobbs came in. He looked a little rough to start with, honestly. I was thinking this is going to be a blowout. Atlanta was a great start defensively, but then he kind of figured things out. He was moving the offense pretty well. He was targeting the receivers that we wanted him to target, and Alexander Mattison took over. I understand that his stat line doesn't look that good, but he looked a lot better today than I think he's looked in a little while, honestly. So
yeah, I agree.
Now again, I don't think his stat line shows that, but when I'm watching him, he didn't look like a bag of smashed ass. So I think what this really does, I think what Josh Dobbs does for this offense is it provides you a little more, I guess, assurance that, Jay Jettis is going to come back. He's going to come back.
Yes.
I think that he's going to be about 80% of what he was before he went to IR, before Kirk Cousins went out. I think that's what his line's probably going to look like.
I agree with that. I agree with that production.
And you saw that Hollywood Brown was very viable with Josh Dobbs. So I can't say that, Justin Jefferson isn't going to be able to do that. I think he's going to be able to.
No, I agree completely.
Jordan Addison, okay day, pretty good. Okay. Didn't kill you, especially in the PPR, didn't kill you. I wanted to say something I've noticed because I'm now the biggest TJ Hawkinson truther ever. Doesn't it kind of look like he gets hurt all the time?
He does look like he's always grimacing in pain whenever he gets tackled, but he did actually get injured in this game. I think it's an oblique rib injury, so he did have to fight through it. So, but, 7 catches, 69 yards, still a really good day for your tight end. Yeah, and then with Cam Akers out, Alexander Madison's most likely going to stay in your lineup for the rest of the season. Yeah, I agree completely. On the Falcons side, Tyler Heinicke, he's a backup quarterback. If you started him in a pinch, it's okay. He didn't really kill you necessarily. 21 for 38 for 268 yards, a touchdown, and then a touchdown over 50 yards. Some of those people have bonuses. I will say, Ray, I'm going to give you a stat here really quickly about this whole backfield. Are you ready for this? So Bijan Robinson has seen a sub 50% running back rush share in 4 of his last 5 games. I don't understand what Arthur Smith is doing. I don't get it. You watch Tyler Algier run with the football in his hand, then you watch Bijan Robinson, and you're like, how does this man not touch the ball 70% of the time in this backfield? What is this? What's the decision here? I don't know. And it's weird because Tyler Algier had 12 carries for 39 yards and a touchdown, while Bijan had 11 carries for 51 yards with 2 receptions for 8 yards. I know he fumbled the ball, but you can clearly see there's a more energetic shift when Bijan has the ball compared to Tyler Algier. But then, you look at how long it took Arthur Smith to just make the right decision and pull Desmond Ridder. The offense looks better with Tyler Heinicke. It looks better. I agree. So rejoice. Yes. Everybody except for Kyle Pitts owners. Yeah. Unfortunately, Drake London was missing today, so any of the guys could have stepped up. Kadarius Hodges was the guy that was the favorite to target of the receivers over Mac. I thought Matt Collins would kind of be the guy, but it wasn't the case. No one really did anything except for Jonnu Smith, of course, because that is Arthur Smith's favorite person for whatever reason. He loves Jonnu Smith being involved in the offense. Granted, he got a touchdown today, so I can't really say anything, but it is really weird how much he loves Jonnu Smith, utilizes him. And Kyle Pitts' line didn't kill you today. Didn't kill you. But I was really expecting it to be a little more than what it was. And watching Jonnu Smith score that 60-yard screen or whatever the hell that was, I was like, man, why couldn't that have been Kyle Pitts? I still think that a 9.6 is a hit on our starts of the week, especially for tight end. I think it's a hit. But it could have been better. I agree. I think so too. Young Moku with 19 points. You play with kickers, please stop. I would be so pissed if I lost to that. I just think with this game going forward, I think maybe Drake London makes things a little better for the receivers going forward. It showed, but I think with Minnesota side, I think it's very viable with Josh Dobbs. I think you can start Addison, you can start Justin Jefferson, you can start Alexander Madison and TJ Hawkinson comfortably, because I think you saw Josh Dobbs can move the ball. So that's what I take away from this game. Do you have anything else from this game? No, sir. Alrighty. Let's move on to the next one. This one was kind of a dud game here. Seattle goes into Baltimore and just gets their PP slapped. It was 3-37. I'll tell you guys right now, no one in Seattle did anything. I don't think anybody got over 10 points anywhere. Oh, Jackson Smith-Njigba did. My apologies. But Ray, I'll let you talk about the Ravens side. I was going to talk about Seattle side, but it's okay. Go for it. Go for Seattle then. I don't know what was going on with their offense. Smith looked like trash. They weren't running the ball effectively. Why was Zach Charbonnet involved at all in the offense whatsoever?
Just get Ken Walker the ball. He's the best person that you have running the ball. Stop doing stupid shit. DK could have had a really good day. He really could. He really could have had a nice day had he caught that one touchdown pass. It was probably about like a 30-yard touchdown pass. Would have saved his day, honestly.
Yeah, I agree.
But that was the story of the whole day. There's a bunch of drops today. There's a bunch of missed. They had a lot of penalties too, a lot.
Yeah.
So I don't know about what's going on with Seattle, what their offense is going to be doing going forward, because they have a talented team. They have a really good roster. Their offense looks like shit right now. I don't know why.
I don't know either. I saw glimpses of this game, and it just felt like Geno Smith was turning the ball over. Ravens defense was just getting after them the entire time. I just feel like they came into this game super unprepared for whatever reason. The whole Kenneth Walker, Zach Charbonnet thing, I will tell you guys this much, though, that Pete Carroll does love Zach Charbonnet. He was hyping him up all this week. There was a ton of hype for him going into this week. I know it's awful for Ken Walker owners, but he did hype him up, saying he wants to use him more. So I don't know what this case is. I mean, Ken Walker had 9 carries, 16 yards, and Zach Charbonnet had 4 carries for 8 yards. So no one really broke the bank open for these guys. I still think it's Ken Walker's backfield moving forward. Seattle, I mean, I really don't know what to do with this team, because I just feel like they've been a really up and down team so far. Baltimore side, they were just up by so much. They just kept running the ball. Lamar Jackson has been so frustrating to have, because anytime they get towards the red zone, all they do is just run it in with this guy named Gus Edwards. Back-to-back weeks of multiple touchdowns. So annoying, but hey, if you're starting him, kudos to you.
And he's been getting in. He's been getting in the end zone.
Yes. It's crazy. And then, hey, Ray, you want to flash the pass? Odell Beckham led this team in points for receivers.
Never should he be in a lineup of yours ever. I do want to talk about that Keaton Mitchell. Keaton Mitchell.
Yes.
Mitchell. I want to talk about Keaton Mitchell for a second. So, do I think that he should be rostered in dynasty lineups? Absolutely. Yes. He was one of the fastest people in the combine. He's one of the fastest people in the NFL. They're going to get him involved more and more and more. He's coming off of off the IR, so
yeah, I think that's why injury, I believe.
Yeah, it's been taking him a little longer to get involved in the offense, but I think that he might supplant Justice Hill. He might,
yeah,
because they love Gus Edwards. They love the guy.
Yeah, I mean, when he's in the goal line, he just gets a touchdown automatically. You can't hate on him. But yeah, 9 carries for 138 yards is very impressive for the rookie. So I'm pretty sure he's been owned before, and some people might have let him go. I would definitely monitor that in the Waiver Wire show. We'll talk about this upcoming week. Zay Flowers, man, what do you do with him? Like, what are you still start him every week, or are you going to pivot elsewhere? What are you doing?
I'm pivoting for sure. I don't think he's been a start for me for a little while, but yeah, I'm pivoting right now. It sucks because when he has the ball in his hand, you can tell, like, man, this guy is just a little different than everybody else. But when does that happen? He's not getting involved in the offense. They're not focusing on him.
Yeah,
and they're letting Mark Andrews take the ball.
10 targets. You really can't hate on it. And Isaiah Likely with 4. So I just want to point this out. Isaiah Likely had 4 targets compared to Zay Flowers' 1 reception and 1 target. It's very frustrating. I don't know. Oh, man. Do you have any comments or anything else about this game?
No.
All right. On to the next one. This was a game that we all thought would happen. Arizona 0, Cleveland 27. Deshaun Watson came back into this game. He played pretty well. Ray, which side do you want to talk about? Do you want to talk about Arizona side, or do you want to talk about Cleveland side?
I can talk about Cleveland side.
All right.
I'll talk about the winning side.
All right.
It's funny, they don't have the score on there at all.
It's just a tag.
That's funny. They redacted their score. Yeah, Deshaun Watson looked good. He did. You know who looked really good? Amari Cooper.
Yeah, Amari Cooper did have a really good game. 5 receptions, 139 yards, and a touchdown. Can't hate on that. Bonkers.
I want to just point out that Amari Cooper is going to finish as a receiver 1. Like receiver 6 or 7 is what he's going to probably finish as.
He's at wide receiver 42 right now, so it's a pretty big jump.
But look at his stat line. Look at his stat line.
Yeah, 5 receptions, 139 yards, and a touchdown is absolutely crazy. Like I fully think yeah.
You can look at his stat line throughout the season. You can see like, hey, he's definitely been involved when he's healthy, when he's actually in the offense. So you do a schedule adjusted. I think he finishes as a receiver 1. He cannot leave your lineup. Is what I'm trying to say. Cannot. He needs to be in your lineup because this is what happens when he's balling out of control. Their running back room is definitely split. I was expecting Kareem Hunt to kind of take over.
I was too.
But he is the goal line back. So I think Kareem Hunt can be safely started as a flex. Or
I think you can start both. I think you can comfortably start both, actually.
Okay.
I mean, look, 20 carries for 44 yards, which obviously it's a really bad stat line. But 5 receptions for 33 yards, and then Kareem Hunt's 14 carries for 38 yards and 1 touchdown. They couldn't get the ball rolling. I know they lost their left tackle in the game, Tristan Wirfs, I believe is his name. It looks like he might be done for the year, so that kind of affect their run game going forward. But anything else on the Cleveland side here, Ray?
Better hope that you started their defense.
Yeah, 24 points is kind of nice.
It's real nice.
It's real nice. For the Arizona side, guys, there's really, really nothing to say because this was a start for Clayton Tune. It's his first game. They very much had a game plan. They want to start Kyler Murray week 10, next week's week 10. So everybody's been waiting for it. This is the time that you'll start Kyler Murray next week. I take nothing back for the running back room because, again, James Conner comes back next week. So all these guys, sorry, Ray, your DeMercado can be safely put away for good. And then wide receivers, I think Hollywood Brown, if you started him today, obviously 6 points. I mean, that's about it. And then I know Trey McBride's been a guy who's been looming up. 5 points, nothing special. This a new team you will see next week with Arizona with Kyler Murray at the helm. What's your expectations for Kyler Murray, Ray?
Probably better than negative 1.88 points.
I agree.
Old Tooney boy looked god awful. He did not look like a starting quarterback in the NFL. No. And Kyler better not come out and shit the bed. Let me tell you, because if he does, they're drafting a quarterback right away with that number 1 overall pick they're going to have.
Oh my goodness. All right, on to the next game. We have the Los Angeles Rams that went into Green Bay. It was 3-20. Ray, I'll let you talk about your wonderful Green Bay Packers.
If Matt Stafford plays that game, the Packers lose by 30 points. I just want to point that out.
I agree.
They lose by a country mile. Jordan Love looked very hit or miss. That's the best way I could put it. He looked hit or miss. They need to stop doing so many of these stupid ass screens. I know that the whole game plan is to get screens involved. They need to stop doing that. It's not working. It's not. And stop alternating left tackles between Yosh Nijman and Rasheed Walker. Just leave Yosh Nijman in. Stop doing this. Again, stop. And also stop putting A.J. Dillon on the field anywhere near as much as Aaron Jones. You saw exactly what the offense looked like with Aaron Jones today. Please continue to do that because the offense looks 100 times better with that. Christian Watson, though. Boy.
Yikes.
Boy. He got hurt again today. I don't know what the hell his deal is about not wanting to come back and get a 50-50 ball. I don't know why he doesn't want to do it, but apparently that's not part of his repertoire. So Jaden Reed right now, to me, as a Packer fan, watching every game, in and out, it's on its own screen by itself. Jaden Reed's the receiver 1 in this offense. That's what I see. He is the receiving 1.
Now, is that purely because of the talent that's around him? Do you think he's legit wide receiver 1, or do you think just because it's so bad around him that he has to be the wide receiver 1?
I think that he has the talent to be.
Okay.
I think he does. But I also think that, Christian Watson has a different level of talent. And I don't know how this is going to get unlocked. Maybe it's one of these, late blooming situations. He is coming from a D2 school, so he's still got a lot to learn. But I don't think that Romeo Doubs should be started in anybody's lineup. I don't think that Jaden Reed is a viable starter unless you have some injuries and you need to flex. Luke Musgrave, I mean, he was involved heavily today. heavily. So definitely something you could, throw in your lineup in a pinch.
Fair enough. Rams side, obviously, Matt Stafford did not play today. He had an injured thumb, so Brett Ripon was the starting quarterback, and he is bad because Green Bay's defense was smothering him at any chance. He did not get anything clean out of the pocket. So everyone was affected by it. So as you can see, Cooper Kupp only had 2 catches for 48 yards. Puka Nacua was already injured in this game going prior. He had 3 catches for 32 yards. I think they have a bye next week, if I'm not mistaken. So I think this was a plan that they had in place. Yeah, they have a bye next week, so they come back week 11. I think this is a plan that they just didn't want to start Stafford. They're 3-6. I don't know what their chances are for the playoffs. I think they'll still start Stafford when he comes back, and everything else will fall back into place as Puka and Cooper Kupp owners. And I think Kyron Williams actually comes back for the bye week as well. So anybody who owns Darrell Henderson and Royce Freeman, I think this is the last week you had them. So do you have anything else for this game, Ray?
Nope.
Fair enough. On to one of the more exciting games on Sunday. Tampa Bay 37, Houston 39. CJ Stroud is, I will say right now, Ray, he's a top 10 quarterback. I don't even think it's close.
Yes, I agree. I agree.
Ray, which side do you want to talk about? Do you want to talk about Tampa or Houston?
I could talk about Tampa. It's fine. I'll take the lesser end. So
all right, fair enough.
Baker had a good game today.
He did.
He had a good game. In all honesty, I thought Tampa was going to win that game. I really did.
You were too.
Tampa thought they were going to win that game.
Yeah.
That was a crazy finish. But yeah, Baker had a great game. I think that if you streamed him, you're pretty happy.
Yeah.
If you have the option of streaming one or the other, you're not happy. But
yeah.
My start of the week, Rachaad White, looked great. Fantastic. I played him in every league that I could think of. So I played against him actually in every league that I'm in. So,
that's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's pretty solid. But yeah, he had a great day today. Looked solid. Was heavily involved. No one gives a shit about Vaughn or Edmonds. Nobody cares.
Keyshawn Vaughn.
Yeah, no one cares about these guys. They weren't involved. It doesn't matter. Mike Evans. I swear to God, there was 3 touchdown passes that got called back for Mike Evans. I swear there was.
Yeah, there was definitely one that got stopped like at the 1 yard line, and then your boy Rachaad White took it in.
There was 3 that I like, at least 2 that were called back because of penalties.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Evans could have had a nuclear day, and I think that's why Rachaad White had such a good day. But still a pretty solid performance. Chris Godwin, kind of a meh day. Meh.
I would say a bust day.
Meh. Yeah, pretty busty. Yeah. Pretty busty. And K. Dotton, I don't want to talk about K. Dotton because I told you not to start him. But yeah, I look. It's a dart throw with K. Dotton. What are you thinking here? It's. I don't know why did he get 6 receptions? Why did that happen? Why did that not?
Houston has very bad against tight end, so I did start him in leagues that I needed to flex out of for tight end. So. Yeah.
But that's it. That's all I have for.
All right. So CJ Stroud probably put up the most points in fantasy this week. 52 points. You can see he threw 5 touchdowns and 1. Ray, what was this? What was the timestamp when they got the ball? 45 seconds left with no timeouts.
Yes.
45 seconds left with no timeouts, and they drive down to win the game. And also, mind you, they lost their kicker in the second quarter, so they had to go for 2-point conversions on almost every time they scored a touchdown. A pretty impressive day for the kid.
Until their backup running back came in.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Google
Ball did kick one through. That's right.
Yeah, he drew a game winner. Really? Like a game winner.
Yeah. Out of this backfield, I think, well, first, let me finish the Stroud. I think you can definitely start Stroud every week moving forward. He's gaining confidence. He's looking like the rookie of the year. No questions asked. This backfield is gross. I know Dameon Pierce was not active today, and they rolled with Devin Singletary. Was not utilized at all. So CJ Stroud does not check down to the running back. He doesn't care for the running back. He just wants to throw the ball down the field, and that's all that matters. Because as you can see, all 3 of the wide receivers ate. Tank Dell with 6 receptions, 114 yards, 2 touchdowns. Noah Brown, who had a good week last week, was effective this week, 6 receptions, 153 yards and a touchdown. And Nico Collins had 3 catches, 54 yards and a touchdown. All were great, viable options. And then Dalton Schultz, again, 10 receptions, 130 yards, 1 touchdown. It is crazy because I think Tampa's a okay defense, but they made him just look terrible. So
yeah, Dalton Schultz looks
crazy.
Like he's arrived. I think that's the way that it's going to be for a while now. Yeah. Houston's offense looked good.
Yeah, they did. They look scary good.
They look good.
I have nothing really to take away from this game other than it's just a series of unfortunate events for Tampa because Baker did everything right to put him in a position to win, and he just left too much time on the clock for CJ Stroud, apparently.
Yeah, if you want to put it that way, yeah.
Next game, we have the Commanders that went into New England. Washington 20, New England 17. Ray, which side do you want to start with?
Neither, because I avoided this game. I didn't want to watch any part of it. I can go with Washington's side.
Okay.
So Sam Howell, he looked, again, better than I thought he was going to, but still kind of indecisive in the pocket. I don't know. I don't know what is this? What are they doing right now?
I don't know. But he is QB8 on the year, by the way. Just throwing that out there. That is kind of crazy to think.
He's got to throw so goddamn much.
He also threw a really bad. That interception of his was like right at the defender in the end zone.
Like right to him.
Yeah, like no other commander was there. It was just him that he threw to. It was kind of weird.
I don't know. I'm not reading into Antonio Gibson's stat line. Not reading into it. I don't care that he had more fantasy points than Brian Robinson. I don't care. He's not in any lineup that I would ever have in my life. Yeah. They need to start giving Brian Robinson more work. That's it. They need to just give him more work.
18 carries, 63 yards. It's not terrible. He did have a touchdown that saved your day with starting him. He did fumble the ball. Yeah. I'd be curious to see if they could utilize him as a receiving back. He hasn't gotten that like aspect of it. So
yeah, I don't understand. Jahan Dotson had a good day. Terry McLaurin had a good day. Jahan Dotson, man, he had 2 catches. I was like, God damn, like, where has this been? Why is this man not involved? What are you doing? Who is the one? Who is the one right now? Is it Terry McLaurin or Jahan Dotson?
It's still Terry. Yeah, it's still Terry McLaurin in my opinion. Yeah.
Just asking. Terry McLaurin, I still am convinced that he gets the most pass interferences downfield out of every receiver that's been in the league ever. I swear to God he does. And that's it. And that's all I had. Logan Thomas had again, it would have been fine for you as a tight end stream. But
yeah.
That's it.
All right. Patriots side, I think Mac Jones is still not a good quarterback, but I will say though, Ray, that he really has no weapons to help him. Like none. When you think about it, like Ramondre Stevenson had himself a game. So all those Ramondre owners, I told you it would improve after the Raiders game, and it did. It's starting to get there. His leading receiver was Juju Smith-Schuster, and obviously the guy Demario Douglas, who has been hyped up for a little bit over there. But I mean, it sucks for him. There's really no one else there, so none of these guys are really viable except for like DK spots, and then Hunter Henry had the touchdown for them. Other than that, for the Patriots, I think with being 2-7, they go to Germany next week to play the Colts. And if they fall to 2-8, I could see them very much pivoting towards moving on from Mac and hopefully drafting a quarterback in this next year's draft class.
Who would you want it to be?
Realistically, someone who could elevate the game, like Drake May. Like, I think Drake May would be pretty solid for New England.
I can see that. I don't know. Yeah. I was wondering if you were going to say Shadori or not, but he might not even come back. He might even come out. I think he stays.
I think he stays too. On to the next game. We had Chicago going into New Orleans, and I will say, this gentleman here, Tyson Badgett, actually had a really good game against New Orleans. I was kind of worried because I had a lot of money in New Orleans to win this game, and it was actually getting more closer. Ray, which side do you want to start with?
I'm going to start Chicago. Okay. We got to jam through some of these real quick. All right, so like you said, Tyson Badgett looked fine. I don't know what they're going to do at the quarterback position when Justin Fields is healthy, which I'd imagine he's probably going to play next week. But
yeah, he is.
Like, I will say that Badgett did have, was it two or three interceptions. He had three interceptions, and one of them was egregious. One of them was pretty bad. But I don't know. Like, do you just like, are you giving up on Justin Fields at 2-7? I don't think you should.
No, you still got to let him finish out the season.
Yeah, it's on Tyson Badgett. I don't know what they're gonna do with Deontay Foreman and this backfield of mediocrity. Why don't they just give the work to Roschon Johnson? Why don't they do it?
I don't know. I mean, Deontay Foreman with 20 carries is pretty impressive, though. Like that's
20 carries for 83 yards.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Just something I was thinking when I was watching the game. I was like, why is he getting so much work? Like, see what you have in the rookie. Why don't you do that? Darnell Mooney was definitely the, I guess, guy to start this week. It's weird because you would have thought it would have been DJ Moore. DJ Moore was targeted, and he got valuable targets at 2 in the end zone, but just nothing that was connecting. And I think that changes back when Justin Fields takes the field again. Cole Kmet. This man was on fire. That was one of the best catches I've seen in a minute. That touchdown catch he had.
Well, which one? He had 2.
The first one.
Yeah. No, he's playing out of his mind right now, and I think that'll stay the same even when Justin Fields comes back. So
yeah.
On the Saints side, Derek Carr had a pretty good game. Nothing crazy. I mean, 211 yards, 2 touchdowns. Alvin Kamara. This was not a typical Alvin Kamara day. Usually you see more receptions here, but they pivoted elsewhere. Chris Olave found the end zone today, Ray. He did it. Finally. It only took you 9 weeks, but you did it.
Yeah, pain.
Sorry. Pain. Michael Thomas, no catches.
As it should be.
As it should be. And then your favorite player of all, Taysom Hill, 22 points. I think you have to start him every week now because if he's available in tight end slot, you have to start him.
I think you can start Jahan Dotson too. I'm sorry, Jahan Johnson.
So Jahan Johnson,
Jawan. Is it Jawan?
Jawan. That's right. It is
Johnson.
Jawan Johnson. My apologies.
I think you can start him too.
Yeah.
He was so much more involved than Michael Thomas, but by 5 times the amount.
Michael Thomas was just a dud this week. Oh man. On to the next game. My Colts go into Carolina, and Bryce Young had himself a really bad game. 27-13. I'll start with my Colts here. I mean, the Colts defense was really the main focal point of this because with 2 pick sixes will definitely bolster anything that we had to do. We had nothing really to worry about. Jonathan Taylor saw a lot more work this week. So for all those JT owners, I know there was comments made going into it, but he had 18 carries compared to Zach Moss's 7, and he had a touchdown today. He started Josh Downs. It's really unfortunate because he played 1 series and then got injured, his same knee injury. Michael Pittman, again, typical day for him. 8 catches, 64 yards. You're super excited about that. And then nothing else from that side. Ray, I'll let you take your little victory lap right now for the Carolina side.
I'm going to take it.
Yeah.
I'm going to take it. Bryce Young sucks. That's it. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. He looked like hot dog ass, and he's looked like dog ass the whole season. Now, does it get better next season? Does it get better when he has more weapons? Who knows? They can't give up on him just yet because they spent too much money on him. Or not too much money. They spent too much capital.
Yeah,
capital on Bryce Thumbelina. I don't know, man. He didn't look good, and he hasn't looked good.
No.
I will say that it's weird that Miles Sanders and Chuba Hubbard have the same stat line, I guess, fantasy-wise, because it just didn't seem like Miles Sanders was on the field at all. It didn't.
No, he had 1 drive that he was in for the entire drive where he kept getting carries, and that was about it.
Yeah. But other than that, I didn't really notice him on the field at all.
No.
Adam Thielen definitely let you down. I had a parlay on
did.
Adam Thielen. Really hurt my feelings. It sucked.
Yeah.
It sucked. So maybe it's coming back down to earth, and maybe he's doing this his historic pace is nuclear at the beginning of the season to the mid part of the season, and then
they just really didn't target him though. They did not want to throw to him for whatever reason. It was super weird. So I don't know what to make of that.
Maybe they couldn't because Bryce couldn't see him. Who knows?
Anything else from this game?
No. Well, their tight end Hayden Hurst had a pretty good a pretty good stat line, didn't he? He did not. Never mind.
He
Sorry.
did not.
I
No.
I just remember him having a few catches. I was like, I thought
Okay.
he was all right. Never mind. Take it back.
Fair enough. On to the next game. This game was a complete blowout from beginning to end. It was the Giants that went to Vegas 6-30. I'll start with the Giants side very quickly. This team is probably, I want to say, Ray, would you agree they're probably the worst team in the NFL? Like if they were to face Carolina, I think Carolina beats them.
Is Tyrod playing?
That's Danny DeVito.
No, they're the worst team in the NFL.
Okay. Yeah. So I just think it sucks because I think regardless of this game, though, Saquon still put up respectable numbers. I still think you can start him every week with the Giants because they're just going to keep dumping it off to him as checkdowns. They're going to try to run it. He'll probably face more stacked boxes going forward. But there's no one you want to start in the wide receivers. I get it. Wandale had a touchdown, but it was last second. They were already down like 30 points. So it doesn't matter. I really don't want to start anybody from this team other than Saquon. Ray, you want to start with the Raider side?
Sure. Aiden O'Connell got it done, I guess. He didn't look god awful. He had a couple of different plays where he didn't look that good, but
Yeah,
he looked better than Jimmy G. Let's just leave it at that.
I agree with that. Yes.
Josh Jacobs is the only show in town. That's it, and they want to get him the ball as much as possible. It makes me think that next season he's going to go somewhere else. He's not going to be very good.
You don't think they resign him?
No.
Okay. All right.
I don't think so at all. And why I'm saying that is because he's just gonna have so much work on his body. You know, he's not a Derrick Henry type of guy. But today, pretty nice start. Jacoby Myers is the receiver 1 on this team. That's it.
It's so great.
He is the receiver 1 on this team.
What are you doing with Devontae?
What I don't know what to do. I have no idea what to do. He didn't have a target for the first half.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, what is going on? If you didn't want to use him, just get rid of him. Send him somewhere. Get something for it.
I do think that a good portion of this game was basically because they lost Daniel Jones and it was starting to become a blowout, so they really didn't need to start throwing the ball down the field as much. But like, it is kind of crazy seeing Devontae just having statistically his worst season possible.
This game was a blowout before Daniel Jones even left.
Yeah, I agree.
This game was over.
It was over. Yeah,
it was over.
Yep.
The Giants suck.
The Giants do suck.
The Raiders suck.
Oh man. On to the next game. This was a really exciting game. Dallas goes into Philly. Unfortunately, couldn't get the job done. Just short a couple yards from winning it all. 23-28. Ray, which side do you want to start with?
I can go with the Dallas side.
All right.
Jack looked pretty good. He looked
really
in sync. He looked in sync. He was playing within the offense. He wasn't trying to do too much. There was one specific run that he had that I was like, oh, maybe you shouldn't be doing those kinds of things. It was later in the game. He got twirled around a little bit. I was like, that kind of looks like how you broke your ankle. Tony Pollard right now is like an RB2.
Oh, for sure. It's crazy. I don't know what it is.
He's just not getting it done. I don't know. What is his average yards per carry? Like it's got to be under 4.
Let's see. Yards per carry. He's got 5, 2.5, 5. It's probably somewhere right at 4. It looks like
it's got to be under that because it just doesn't look like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's running right into the line every time. Like he can't get past the line of scrimmage. CeeDee Lamb. I'm gonna go eat some crow real fast. CeeDee Lamb is legit. I know that I said that he's probably not going to finish in the top 12. I redact that statement. He's got to.
He's number 10 right now, and
He's got to. He's so involved right now. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And you know what's crazy is that he needs to be. That is the bread and butter of this offense. That's how this offense is going to go. This cannot change. So if you're the CeeDee Lamb owner, good on you. Don't ever take him out of your lineup. Jake Ferguson, I think he's arrived.
I agree. I think he's option number 2 right now in Dallas.
Yes.
Yeah. So I will start with the Eagles side. So Jalen Hurts had himself a pretty decent game, I would say, for him. He's playing injured 100%. That dude is playing through some sort of injury because he is grimacing in pain every time he's got to move. Hopefully he gets everything healed up and ready to go because they have a bye week next week. But he still, at the end of the day, had himself a really good game. DeAndre Swift had 2 fumbles, man. I mean, granted, and one almost cost him the game at the very end. I mean,
that was crazy.
That
and it was crazy. He got knocked out right there. You know that he was like
by his own player.
Out
Yeah,
for a second.
Oh man,
it was AJ Brown that shouldered him.
Yeah, that's a big boy too.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do. I mean, you still start DeAndre Swift. He's still RB6 in the year. I mean, just a bad game. AJ Brown is still going to be on pace to being like probably finish as like wide receiver 3 on the season. Devonta Smith, I mean, he's back hopefully with a touchdown. And then unfortunately with that, oh, that's going to suck, man. Dallas Goedert. There's no one really pivot to for the tight end wise. It's their backups, Jack Stahl and this gentleman here, Okugwangum from the Broncos. So I don't expect them to utilize any of the backup tight ends as much. I expect Devonta Smith and AJ Brown's targets to increase from here.
Yes.
Yeah. On to our last and final game. Buffalo goes into Cincinnati and just can't get it done. They do everything they can to kind of throw away this game too at that point. Ray, which side do you want to start with?
I want to talk about Cincinnati.
Okay.
Joe Burrow's back.
Yeah.
He looked
really
sharp good today. Yeah. He looked sharp.
Yeah.
He was mobile in the pocket. He was taking, what did he finish with his yardage?
He had 31 completions for 348 yards and 2 touchdowns.
But then I was saying his 5 carries are 4 yards. I felt like it was more than that.
They might have like counted like one of the, not a sack, like a rushing attempt for him.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
because it felt like he had at least like 20 to 25 yards.
I don't know.
Honestly, I don't know. Yeah, Joe Burrow looked great. Joe Mixon, man, is he coming alive right now?
Yeah,
you're capitalizing so much on Joe Burrow's injury. I bet you could have traded for beans for Joe Burrow. There was one of my leagues. He was on the waiver wire. Joe Burrow was on the waiver wire.
That's insane.
Wild to me, right? That team now will be winning that championship. I promise you that. T. Higgins had himself a ball game. It was weird because I don't think Jamar Chase was really even targeted until like the second quarter, and then again until the third quarter. Like, he just was not a part of the game plan. He was being taken away. There was a deep ball that he got thrown to him late in the game that I thought he was going to come down with it, and it kind of like he got up a little
landed on his back. He definitely was grimacing. He's going to feel that in the morning.
Yeah, but T. Higgins is just making his case to get paid millions next season.
They can't keep Carolina Panther.
Yeah, they can't keep him. Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. On the Buffalo side, Josh Allen, I mean, it's a great day for him. 26 points. Can't complain about that. This running back situation is really, really annoying. They need to utilize James Cook somehow, some way. 6 carries for 20 yards and 4 catches for 19 yards is, I feel like, really unacceptable because I feel like he is, I want to say he can be a third option for this team as like a receiving back, and they just don't use him. And for whatever reason, they want to stick around with Latavius Murray, and I don't get it. Ray, what's your thoughts on that?
I wish they wouldn't, but everywhere that Latavius Murray goes, he ruins somebody's backfield.
Yeah, and again, he was on the goal line back and still couldn't. I mean, I don't know if he tried to run it in, but he's a goal line back, and it's just so annoying because he just can't even get it done, even when he's a goal line back.
It won't be him now. Now it'll be Leonard Fournette.
Yeah. Stephon Diggs had himself a really good game for obvious reasons. 6 catches, 86 yards, and a touchdown with a 2-point conversion. Khalil, hey Ray, look at that. Gabe Davis, 0 catches for 0 yards and 0 points.
Who knew? Khalil Shakir needs to be eyeballed in deeper leagues.
Yes, I agree with that. And I think Dalton Kincaid I know he fumbled today, but 10 catches for 81 yards is impressive for a rookie tight end. I think even when Dawson Knox comes back, I still think Kincaid has this role locked. I don't think he's going to come back and be anything other than a blocking tight end. So
I would agree.
That is all I have for this game. Ray, do you have any comments for this?
No, that's it.
That's
it. That's all.
Well, guys, we appreciate you for sticking around this long. And again, if you guys have any comments, questions, or concerns, type them down below. Myself or Ray will comment back to you pretty quickly. Next time we see you guys will be after the Monday night game. Let us know for some Monday Night Miracles. It's the Chargers and Jets. So let us know what you guys need.
Yeah, and as always, if you guys stick around this long, please hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe. Let us know what you're thinking, and we will see you guys next.